For my project, I want to explore how the narrative is told through an alternation between flashbacks and present-day scenes. More specifically, this is done through different editing techniques, sound, as well as mise-en-scène elements like lighting and makeup. Let's take a look at the pilot episode to explore this idea. In these scenes, we mainly see Veronica Mars interact with different people from her past and present. In the first flashback, we get a glimpse into the tough beginning for Veronica's new school friend Wallace. The second flashback allows us to understand more about Veronica's previous relationship with Duncan Kane. The third flashback reveals Lily Kane's murder scene and how both Veronica and her father were involved with the scene. And finally, the fourth flashback lets us see Sheriff Don Lamb's cruelty and insensitivity towards Veronica that she later gets back at him for in the present-day scenes. These present-day scenes are contrasted against the flashbacks, not only in terms of editing, but in terms of how people and situations have changed in the story over time.
Why are you a dead man walking?
Oh.
In the first flashback, notice the zap-like transition effect from the present world to the world of memory, a unique characteristic of the flashback.
Yeah, I work at Sack and Pack. Last night I was working by myself and a couple of those guys.
Also, the characters in the present world are well lit by natural light, whereas in the flashback, the characters are dimly lit and characterized by shadows and neon lights. Also, voiceover narration is used in flashback number 1 to connect us to the character's present-day conversation with Veronica Mars.
Came in.
One other interesting element to note about the flashback is the point of view shot used here. This gives us a glimpse into the character's mind and tells us how he remembers the situation.
Wallace.
I guess the dude thought a $1 bill would cover it.
Keep change.
He used to be my boyfriend.
In this flashback, the people are characterized by a bluish tint and are dimly lit with shadows cast on them. Slow motion editing also appears here and helps to denote this scene as a memory.
Then one day, with no warning, he ended things.
Veronica Mars' thoughts about the situation become the narration for the flashback scene she replays in her mind.
He's beloved here. Half the people in this town owe their fortunes to him. And I knew the family well.
In this third flashback, the same elements are used to tell us that this scene is one from memory. The unique transition effect, bluish tint, and thought narration where Veronica's present thoughts guide us through the flashback.
Jake's son, Duncan, was my first and only love. His daughter, Lily, was my best friend. Later that night, as I was driving home from picking up dinner with Dad,
when we are taken from the car wash to the crime scene, the cop lights serve as a unique transition and a cool editing technique. Also, the scene is blurry and softened, just as the car wash scene was, since they are both memories.
A call came in over the radio. All the dispatcher said was that there was a disturbance at the Kane estate. But everyone knows this story.
The murder scene memory is characterized by static-like effects that outline the characters, bluish light reflecting from the pool, and an overall television news feel where the characters almost seem like images rather than people.
The murder of Lily Kane, it was on the cover of People magazine. It made Entertainment Tonight. The town flooded with journalists.
Veronica, what happened to you? I need to report a crime.
Is there anyone in particular you'd like me to arrest?
Along with the same elements previously discussed, this fourth flashback is characterized by the echo sound of the sheriff's voice. Shadows also cover the sheriff's face.
Or should I just round up the sons of the most important families in town? You need to go see the wizard. Ask him for some guts.
Go see the wizard, he said that.
Yeah?
In this present-day scene, Veronica's question cuts into the flashback to bring us back into the real world and out of the memory. This sound becomes non-diegetic to diegetic. Also, the transition effect brings us back to present day. Elements like shot-reverse-shot editing and the natural lighting and makeup help us understand that this scene is not a flashback, but rather a present-day situation.
Congratulations, sport. In your short time here, you've already managed to piss off a motorcycle gang and the local sheriff.
The non-diegetic crime music continues from the flashback and helps us transition from the blurry, staticky characters and dim lighting to the present nighttime hotel scene. Veronica and Jack Kane are no longer blurred, but simply look like normal people.
But if my dad wasn't right about Jake Kane then, it looks like Mrs. Kane is right about him now.
I'll tell you what, Veronica Mars, why don't you go see the wizard? Ask for a little backbone.
When we find them, they've still got 20 bottles stuffed in their pockets.
From this flashback to the present world, the same zap transition effect brings us to see the sheriff sitting in a chair, just as he had been in the flashback. Also, the lighting changes from dim and bluish to bright and natural.
They say they bought the beers, but we've got it all on tape, so.
Your Honor, can we show the tape?
Let's see it.
All right, what you're gonna see here are the two defendants over there. They enter, and
What are we seeing here, Sheriff?
In conclusion, both the flashback scenes and the present-day scenes all have their own unique editing and mise-en-scène elements that set them apart. Although the narrative is told through the two types of scenes, rather than simply all present-day or all flashbacks, it is an effective way to help both the characters and viewers watching at home piece together the story and really understand the characters inside and out.